Melanie, and today I'm going to be doing a video because of Mother's Day. This whole month leading up to Mother's Day I'm going to be doing craft tutorials and pretty much everything mommy. So this video is going to be mommy tips. Just some things that I've learned from the 3.5 years that I've been a mom, some of the things that I live by and the way that I've chosen to run our family, and just some things that I think are really important that hopefully you will find helpful and encouraging. Maybe if you're struggling or you're just a new mom and you're not sure where to start, maybe this will give you some good tips and tricks. Well, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I don't have a degree in this. I'm just a mom that has experience, a short amount of experience to be honest. My son's 3.5 years old, but I feel like we have a really happy, healthy home life. My husband and I have a great marriage, and so maybe some of these tips you'll find helpful. So tip number 1 is to have your priorities straight. And basically, the main point that I want you to take from that is to put your husband before your children. And I know that that sometimes can feel really weird because you're doing everything for your kids. They need you a lot. They require a lot of attention, and that's good. Paying attention to your kids and fulfilling their needs is absolutely required. But maintaining that relationship with your husband is also extremely important. One of the most important things that you can do as a parent is to model a good marriage to them, because they're gonna grow up and leave your house and hopefully get married someday, and they're gonna be married longer than they've lived in your house, hopefully. So, being a good wife or a good husband and showing them what that looks like is so important. And you can do little things just to maintain that relationship. Go on date nights, talk about your days, just stay connected with each other, go on weekends away once a year or twice a year. My son knows when my husband comes home from work, I try to listen to him, say hi to him, not be distracted by the kids and dinner and all the different things that are going on, but to really look him in the eyes. How was your day? Sorry, that was my washer. I had to go turn that off. It was really loud. Anyway, the point of what I'm saying is that you have to maintain a relationship with your husband because it's so important to model that. And you know what? To be honest, the sooner your kid knows that the world does not revolve around them, and it shouldn't revolve around them, the better it's going to be for them and for you. So tip number 2 is to be consistent. And I know that that can be a really hard thing to follow. I fail at it every day. And it just carries over into so many aspects of being a mom, not only in your child's diet, their sleep schedules, most importantly discipline. One thing that's really important about being consistent is having your no mean no. Period. End of story. No means no. And that's going to really save you a lot of heartache and trips to the grocery store where your kid's throwing a tantrum. And obviously kids are kids and things happen, and whatever method of discipline that you are deciding to do, no has to mean no. Period. And when you are very consistent in that, your child will know that. Once they've tried to cross that line and they realize that there is no crossing that line, then they're gonna learn. And that's a really good thing for them. And at the same time, you have to be ready to back up that no with, make sure you're saying no to things that need to be said no to, not just you don't feel like dealing with something, or it's too much work, or it's gonna be too much cleanup. Of course, the no meaning no is where I'm at with little kids, and I'm sure that those kind of things evolve and change as kids grow up. They become teenagers and you have to have a dialogue, and I'm coming at that from my children are little. No means no, and they just kind of have to deal with it. My tip number 3 is, I titled it, I have my little notes down here, be okay with submitting to the needs of your family. And I think I had to learn this a lot when I had my daughter, kid number 2, because I was resisting the fact that 2 children means more time. It means more work, it means more of me that has to be given to them. And that's great and that's good, but it was an adjustment for me. Just that there wasn't as much time in the day that I could do other things or other projects or have a tidier house or a better cooked dinner. That was something I had to deal with, and I found myself being kind of grouchy or grumpy because things were taking so much longer than I thought they should, even though it was 2 children, and especially, you know, when you're first adjusting, you have a newborn, and that takes a lot of time and you're tired because you're up at night. I had to learn to be okay with that and to know this is where I'm at in life, and that's okay. You know, if you have a kid with special needs, a family member that has an illness, and there are just more of you that's required to be serving other people, you know, that's okay, and it's just for a time, and you kind of have to be okay with fulfilling that role and to not fight it like I tried to do, and resist that change, and that I was having that selfish feeling like, oh, but I'm not going to have as much me time, I'm not going to be able to do my own thing. It's a good thing to be giving of yourself to somebody else, to other people, and to be others minded for what your family needs or your friends need, your parents need, and being okay with how that's working out in your life. Now, having said that, being okay with that, but at the same time being yourself, doing things that you love to do, that you're very passionate about. I'm very passionate about creating things and sewing, and you know, these kind of things, encouraging other moms to be crafty and creative, and outside of that, I have to pay attention to my children, you know, because my children want my attention. They want me. They don't care how well decorated my house is. They don't care how good my dinner was. They don't care how clean the toilets are. You know, they want me and they want my attention, and there's no reason why they shouldn't have that. They want a happy and a healthy mom. And the sooner that you find out what that is for you in your life, the better it's going to be for them. Find what your conscience says, what you've decided your priorities are, and not compare yourself to what other blogs do, or you know, all this stuff on Pinterest, you know, all these other moms that are doing things. You know, don't compare yourself to anybody else. You know, talk with your husband about it. What do your kids need? What do you need? What does God think of these things? And it's okay that your kid didn't have the most fabulous first birthday party, or that your house isn't perfectly organized and every closet looks like Martha Stewart's. You know, that's all okay. You know, don't compare yourself to others and put this pressure on you that you have to do those things, because you don't. Because there are things that matter more than that. And there's so much more. You know, I definitely don't have the most perfect house. I've chosen to spend some of that time doing videos, doing crafts, making quilts for my kids, and doing other projects. So, you know, there are other things in my life that go down a little bit more. And so that's where I've decided that I want to spend my time, my free time, outside of the things that I need to be doing every day. And what does that look like for you? You know, each person's going to have things that are different in their life. They're going to have different requirements of them. This is my stage right now. This is where I'm at in my life right now. And each person's life is going to be different. Each child is different. You know, the dynamics are going to be different for every single person out there. And so finding what's good for you and what works for you is going to be the most important thing. You know, don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to somebody else, because as soon as you do that, you're going to start feeling like you're inadequate when you're really not. I do find times though where my house is like too messy and I just have to clear my day and spend my day cleaning my house, because that is good and that's what I should be doing. It's part of my role as a stay-at-home mom, take care of my children and do the best that I can at that, take care of my home and do the best that I can at that, take care of my husband, and, you know, fit in some of the other things too, because those are not wrong. Doing things for myself is not wrong. It's just going back to those priorities. You know, have those priorities in line. My number one priority is God, and being sure that I'm involved in ministry and reading His Word every day, and doing what He wants for my life. And then once I have that all in line, then, you know, everything else kind of falls into place. If I'm seeking to serve Him and to serve others, then, you know, I end up being happier, and I end up, being much more at peace with where I'm at. So step 1 was priorities, step 2 was be consistent, tip number 3 was, be okay with submitting to the needs of your family, 4 was be yourself, and 5 is breathe. Take a deep breath, like I need to do every day, and don't feel like you have all this pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself sometimes, and really I just need to go out in the backyard and play with the kids in the sprinklers and run around and laugh with them and get on the floor and play with them. My husband comes home, just go to the beach, go to the park, sit and have a conversation with him when I'm not super distracted or trying to do 5 million things. And that's what life is all about, is your family, and you want them to have a happy and a healthy life, and you want them to love being at home and to love being around you, of course. I want my kids to love being around me. So for me personally, if I'm seeking to honor the Lord, if I'm respecting and loving my husband, cherishing and trying to grow and teach my children the best that I can, things are going to line into place. Those are the things that are going to bring you lasting happiness, not how well organized your garage is or that you wore the perfect outfit. Your kids, especially as a mom, your kids revolve around your life. Your life does not revolve around theirs. And that's a really important distinction. Of course, don't get me wrong, children are amazing. I love mine to death, and I would do anything for them. And they need things daily that I need to be giving them. They need food and shelter and clothing and my love and support. But don't be afraid. You are the mom. You are the mom, and they are the children. And what you say goes. So anyway, I'm kind of done with my little notes. I hope you find this encouraging. I hope this is helpful for you. Any of you new moms that are maybe struggling or fighting it like I was, finding that selfish heart come out. It's really easy to come out. I'm going to be putting some more fun crafty tutorials and maybe some more mommy type tips, I don't know, what do you guys want to see? Mommy like outfits or mommy makeup, or some of my like what's in my diaper bag, I don't know. Everything's going to be mommy themed for the next month, and yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys found this encouraging and helpful. Bye guys, subscribe, thanks! This is a traditional ring. See it.